A little over 12 months ago, I made a few massive changes to the way that I run my business. After 5 years of pretty lackluster results and a lot of failed attempts at this, I was done. So I decided to throw out everything I'd done, everything I'd learned, and start again from zero. And since I made those changes, in this past financial year, my business as a content creator has generated me a little over $300,000. And in today's video, I want to talk you guys through those changes that helped me have a year in business that, to be honest, I never thought I'd be capable of. So let's get into it. Part 1, creating content alone is not gonna build your business. One of the hardest things for me to learn was that my ability to make tens of thousands of dollars per month as a content creator has literally zero to do with my ability to create content. I struggled to understand how there were creators out there with less than 50,000 followers making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, yet I was still scraping by working freelance jobs. The key thing that I was missing was that building a personal brand and monetizing a personal brand are two sides of the same coin. They support each other, yes, but one does not create the other. It's frightening how long it took me to understand this, but an income is not going to magically appear in my bank account at the end of every month if I just make enough content. The creators that are doing the best, at least financially, usually have a great business that runs alongside their content that usually requires just as much effort to maintain as the content itself. Merchandising, educational products, digital products, a Shopify store, whatever you can build to run in tandem with your content, make it. The key to all of this, and the part that's an absolute non-negotiable, is that if you want to make a great income as a content creator, you need to be investing just as much time and attention into those income generating activities as you are investing into your content creation. That's just the bare minimum if you want to be successful. Part 2, become an aggressive iterator. One of the biggest mistakes that I used to make was that I put massive expectations on the first version of my products. I thought that the first launch of your products is where you're supposed to make all of your money, and then each subsequent launch is supposed to get less and less popular, but this is just so far from the truth. Usually it's the 5th, 10th, or 20th version of your product that becomes a winner. The issue is most creators don't stick with anything for that long. They've seen other people become successful with a course, so they hunker down for months creating what in their mind will be the perfect course. I've even seen some creators stop producing content altogether with the intention of building their perfect course to then come back to creating content again. Here's why that's not gonna work. The success of your product is dependent on one thing. It's not the quality of your course material, it's not how fancy your landing page looks, and it's not how many hours of content or how many modules there are in your course. It's your customer experience. That's it. How stoked are your customers when they buy and use your products? That is literally all that matters, and it's the only indication of whether your product will grow or die. So how do we guarantee that our customers are gonna have an incredible experience? Release a product, gather feedback, and iterate on that product over time. The issue that so many creators encounter when they release their perfect product that they've put hours and hours into is that after release, they have to come back and continue to work on that product over time to make it actually work for their customers, which becomes basically impossible if you put your entire content production on hold to create the product in the first place. So here's the alternative. Rather than disappearing for months and creating your perfect product, start with an idea and your minimum viable product. If you want to eventually build a course, can you start with a live 90-minute workshop covering the same content but in less detail? Then use that customer feedback and your experience to build a version 2 that includes a bunch of pre-recorded course material to add on as a bonus, includes the recording from version 1 as a bonus, and then has a bunch of new content based on the feedback from your customers. Then a version 3 and a version 4 and a version 5, and then by version 6 you have the product that you initially wanted to build, except now it's way better because it's actually based off the feedback from your customers and not just a broad idea of what you think your customers want. And now it sells better than you initially thought because it has real student success stories to help sell it. And now you have a real group of past customers who all love the experience, that are all telling their friends and their network about how good your product is. And the best part, throughout this entire process of building this incredible online course, you earned an income. Congratulations, you just got paid to make an even better product than you initially wanted. Far too many creators never even start because they're intimidated by the process of making their first product. They think they need the perfect product, the perfect launch strategy, the perfect landing page. Fuck all of that. Focus on creating something genuinely valuable for your potential customers, sell a minimum viable product, and then iterate on that product over time. Part 3, Build a content and business ecosystem. Your content should feed your business, and your business should feed your content. This is how you as a content creator can start to build leverage and ensure that the actions that you take today are stacking on top of the actions you took yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. I've used the analogy before, maybe not on YouTube, but in newsletters, of building sandcastles. And when your monetization strategy is detached from your content strategy, you are building sandcastles. Any progress you make today doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, your sandcastle, no matter what you do, is getting washed away by the tide. So how do we solve this? You solve it by building a content and monetization ecosystem. Build products that are genuinely valuable for your target audience, and then build a content strategy that allows you to directly and indirectly promote your products to that audience every single day. And yes, I said daily, which is a far cry from the link in bio strategy that most creators employ. Let's use my example, which is far from perfectly optimized yet, but I'm working on it. I have my LUTs, Notion templates, and other creative assets which build out my impulse products. I then have my live cohort time to build, and then I have my free workbook, Digital Autonomy. These are my products. Every single day, I try to promote these products free or paid to my audience. A direct promotion is obvious. It's just a straight up ask. A video that directly promotes a product, an Instagram story that has a purchase link, or an email newsletter that has an intention of selling a specific offer. You can only really use this 20 to 30% of the time, otherwise it's damaging the equity of your brand, which is where indirect promotion comes in and why this can be extremely powerful. An indirect promotion is where I send people to something that's genuinely valuable and free that includes a route for them to purchase something from me indirectly. For example, this video that you're watching right now is a perfect example of this, because in the description of this video down below, you'll find a link to buy the LUTs that I used to color grade this video, my Notion dashboard for content creators, or sign up for the waitlist for my upcoming cohort of Time to Build. The intention of promoting this video to my audience on Instagram or to my email list or on Threads or Twitter or wherever else I promote it was to send you here and hopefully give you some great value entirely for free. There's no ulterior motive there. But by directing you here, there is an indirect way of you buying something from me. That is an indirect promotion and doesn't damage my equity at all, no matter how many times I promote it. I can indirectly promote to you dozens of times per day, and it doesn't have any effect on how you perceive my brand. You'll also see me use this in my email newsletters. At the end, I'll usually have a section that people can buy something from me if they're interested in a CTA to do that. In my Instagram posts, usually at the bottom of the caption, I'll have an example of the LUT that I used to color grade that video that you can buy. Or even on my Instagram story, I might promote a backlog newsletter with the intention of actually giving free value, but somewhere in that newsletter includes a CTA. The power of this is that it compounds over time. Once you've produced hundreds of YouTube videos, sent out dozens of newsletters, and are creating content consistently, you'll start to make sales on autopilot. Because everywhere that someone goes to view your content, there will be some form of indirect promotion of a product or service that you're selling. The key to all of this is that if you want to make more money, you have to sell more. There's no way around that. But the best way to do that is to create a content system that allows you to sell on autopilot. I hope this video has been genuinely valuable, and I'll see you in the next one.